Morning everybody, Dave Ward here, and yesterday I posted a question in this group asking you if Jimmy Hayes Nelson and I did a free webinar talking about who we are and what we do as Beachbody coaches, would you be interested in attending that webinar? And a lot of you said yes, kind of a surprising number of people. I expected a lot of people, but it was kind of a crazy number to comment yes on that. So I wanted to film this video and just sort of formally extend an invitation to you, and then also talk to you a little bit about what's kind of going on in the background here and what you can expect. So the genesis of this comes from a private Facebook group that Jimmy and I are members of that is for ticket holders of our men's leadership event. So if you don't know about that, last year Jimmy and I organized a men's leadership event in Dallas, Texas. We're doing part 2 of that this year, May 21st and 22nd, again in Dallas. And we decided this year what we wanted to do with it was, leading up to the event and coming out of the event, create a lot of training for guys. So build momentum going into the event. So we created a private Facebook group that's only open to people who have tickets. So if you don't have tickets, you can't get in the group. And I'm sorry, for those of you who aren't men, that the event isn't open to you. There are reasons for that, and here's why that's going on. I'm sure you have guys who are on your team who struggle. I know you do. We all do. And this is not always the answer to why. But often the reason why is that men don't learn well from women, generally. And we really generally don't learn well from our spouses. It's just, that's just a relationship that's there. Men are very ego-driven, and often we're just not able to shut off the I'm right noise and start to open up and listen. When we created an event where it was only guys, that goes away. And they open up, they start to learn, they get vulnerable. Believe me, guys can actually be vulnerable. They get vulnerable and they're open to the information. That's why it's a men's only event. That's why that group is only for guys. This webinar, however, is not only for guys. Jimmy and I decided, hey, why don't we create a webinar? Let's add value to the Facebook group. We had last week, our topic was presenting the business opportunity. This week the topic is the invitation process, and yesterday I filmed a video about the 3-step process I use when making an invitation. It doesn't matter if it's a personal invitation or if it's an email marketing invitation or a Facebook post or whatever. There's a 3-step process that just works, and it involves telling your story, having 3 critical steps for people to go do. In other words, adding some free value, and then the close, the call to action. And the feedback I got on the video was more. We want more. So we decided to do this webinar. We also decided that we wanted to use this webinar as a way to talk about the event. So for those of you who are not guys, you can expect that there's going to be some references to the event. You can expect that at the end we're going to talk about the event, and we're going to ask people to join us in Dallas and ask people to join us in that private Facebook group by getting a ticket. So I just want to be transparent with that and make sure that you understand that. In particular, this is for the women. Here's what I want you to pay attention to. If you're a woman, you might be saying, well, I don't know. Get your guys on this webinar. I mean, I know for a fact, I can see the whole downline. I know there are a lot of guys in our organization. And it's actually we have probably more guys than most people do. A lot of teams are just all women. That's not what's going on here. We have guys. People are recruiting guys. They're not having massive success. They're not having the kind of success they should. And how do I know that? I know that because I pull the Success Club report every month. I look at Leadership Ladder every month. What do I see? Mainly women. That's okay, and I don't have any particular problem with that. But and in fact, congratulations. But there's a population that just somehow isn't getting served there. Their spouses, I filmed the video the other day. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it was kind of I was a reluctant spouse because I was. Their spouses, they're guys who, maybe they're busy, they're working full-time jobs. I was a lawyer, and they're just not engaging with this business for some reason. A lot of times that's just they look at what you're doing and they think they can't do that. When I first got involved, I looked at what Monica was doing, and I really didn't feel like I could do it, to be completely honest with you. Monica is, if you've ever had a chance to interact with her, She's an incredible relationship builder. And, she's the type of person that if we need a Success Club point, she can literally just go get her nails done and sell a bag of Shakeology on HD without any problem. I'm not like that. I'm a lot more calculated. But I also have strengths that have led me to really be super successful in this business. Things like focus, things like determination, things like a little bit of technical skills where I could get into blogging and not be overwhelmed by it, and learn how to do all that stuff. What we're doing in Dallas is we're going to have, again, over 15 major leaders in this company show you exactly what they're doing. I can guarantee you there's a business model that your guys can do that they're going to be handed a playbook on how to go do that. So what I really am asking you to do is I'm adding value to your experience here by opening up this webinar to you guys, specifically to the ladies and to the guys here, to everybody. If you don't have a ticket, you're still getting invited to this webinar. I'm asking you to return that favor simply by inviting 3 or 4 guys, hopefully, who would benefit from the event. And if you can do that for me, we're going to have a kick-ass webinar on Wednesday night. It's at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. The link is trainingcampmen.com. You can find that in the post below. Talk to you soon.